my name is Zoey Jones. I'm your Vice President Unit 1 at CUPE 4600. Unit 1 is the part of the union for teaching assistants, research assistants, and service assistants. So if you are a TA, RA, or SA at Carleton, you are part of our unit. So this video is just a quick introduction to myself, your VP Unit 1, Zoey, and a few highlights of our collective agreement. If you haven't been a union before, the collective agreement is a document that governs our work environment at Carleton. So you can find the full document at on our website, cupe4600.ca. There will be some updates to it because we are just finishing bargaining, which started in May 2019 and is going to be ratified shortly. Right now I'm recording this in August. And so there'll be some updates to that, but you can find all that information on our website. So in this video, I'm just going to tell you a couple highlights, but I highly recommend you read the whole thing and or the highlights you'll receive in a package from the union to make sure that you know your rights and you make sure that no one takes advantage of you in the workplace and that you feel comfortable and respected and at work. Yeah. So I'm going to cover in this video a brief overview of your hours of work, how that works, the fact that you have sick days, and some new stipulations around marking deadlines, as well as the fact that you have benefits. So as a full-term TA ship, you have 130 hours assigned in a term. So that's, the 4 months of the academic term. You cannot be required to work more than 15 hours in a normal week. So sometimes it averages out to 10 hours a week, but sometimes you'll have some weeks that are less heavy, some weeks that are more heavy. But if you have a supervisor who wants you to work, say nothing for a month and then 60 hours in 1 week, you object to that, you can't be required to work more than 15 hours in a week because most of us are full-time graduate students, and so that would really interfere with your own work. So that's one thing, you can't be required in normal circumstances to work more than 15 hours in a week. So if the 130 hours are governed mostly by the assignment of duties, which you'll receive in the first month of your work, ideally early in September, but we have new rules that they have to give you your AOD, your assignment of duties, within 5 days of the end of registration. So at minimum, you should be getting that by the end of the first month of your job. Sometimes the supervisor creates it for themselves, and sometimes they work with you. Your assignment of duties will lay out how your hour breakdown works. So this many hours are for marking, this many hours are for prep, this many hours are for tutorial or lab, and however that works. When you get that assignment of duties, if you look at the math and it's not working for you and you're saying, I need more time for the marking or I need more time for prep, maybe sometimes people get assigned outside of their discipline or a topic they haven't worked in before. If you need more prep, speak up. You deserve to get paid for your work, even if that work feels like catch up sometimes. That includes if you have to do the readings for class, if you have to attend class, all of that is hours into the assignment of duties. So when you agree to the assignment of duties, that's essentially a contract. If you're asked to do things outside of that, you can decline that, and you should decline that, or get an adjustment to your assignment of duties. So you are entitled to a midterm, in the middle of the term, having a meeting with your supervisor to let them know how that's going. If you're finding, as you track your hours, I highly recommend tracking your hours. As you're tracking them, if you're noticing like, you gave me 15 minutes per paper, but it's actually taking me 20, so it's kind of taking up more time, then you can adjust your assignment of duties in order to make sure you don't go over your hours. Normally, in our collective agreement, we have a 30-day process. If you're going to go over, if the work exceeds 130 hours, you have to give 30 days notice to apply for overtime. You cannot be forced to do overtime. So if you're in a position where you have 15 hours left in your contract and they've assigned you 30 hours of work, you can just say, I'm going to do 15 hours, but you have to give them enough notice that they can figure something else out, but you can't be required to work over your hours. However, you can sometimes get overtime if you want to do the extra work. Normally you need 30 days. You need to know 30 days ahead of time. Because of the pandemic, we've reached an agreement with Carleton where 5 days, overtime can be processed in 5 days. So you can tell your supervisor, I'm near the end of my hours, this is what's happening, or I'm going to be near the end of my hours, so let's apply for overtime to the department. If you work over your hours by accident or don't tell anyone, you won't get paid for that time. So you really want to make sure that you see it coming. because you have to get the hours approved before you can work them and get paid for them. So make sure you don't work over your hours. And if somebody is pressuring you to do so anyways, please contact us. We're here to advocate for you and make sure that that isn't happening. The other thing is that you can't be required to work on days that the university is closed. So that in the collective agreement, there's a list of holidays you can't be required to work on, which include May Day, Canada Day, Labor Day, Christmas Day, stuff like that. But you also can't be required to work when the university is closed. So usually that's there's a period over Christmas where the university is closed. So if someone tells you to do exam marking over the Christmas break, they can't actually require you to do that. If you want to get ahead on your marking, you choose to do that, you can do that, but we highly recommend that you speak up and you say something to your supervisor, actually in the collective agreement that says blah, blah, blah. You can also contact a steward for support and help with that. So a new thing that we want in the collective agreement is also a minimum marking turnaround time. So now, as soon as if we get the current collective agreement deal ratified by the membership, if they vote to accept it, you can't be given a marking deadline that's less than 5 working days. So usually with a normal weekend, that's about a week. Sometimes with a long weekend, it might be a bit longer. But so if you find that a supervisor, this is a new thing. So if your supervisor does say on Monday, you're going to get an assignment, I want it back by Wednesday, you can actually say oh yeah, actually there's an adjustment to the collective agreement. I need 5 days. If they refuse to do that, we can grieve that. So let us know. Yeah, so that's that. We're really excited about adding that because we had a lot of complaints about people getting short turnaround times for marking. And also that counts when you're given access to the materials and the grading instructions. So it's not about when it was due for the students, it's about when you're given access to start your work. The second last thing I wanted to mention is that you do have sick days. So you do have sick time, so sick leave. So how that accumulates is you get 1 hour of sick leave for every 10 hours that you work. You can also be advanced sick leave if necessary. So if you feel there's a reason you need to apply for sick leave, you can do that. You have the right to do that. And if you need support with that, just contact us and let us know. And finally, you have benefits with the union. We refer to it as the Employee Assistance Fund. And it's meant to be in conjunction or as a support to the GSA benefits. So it doesn't cover prescriptions, but it covers dental, eye care, some paramedical services like physio and chiropractor stuff, and childcare and a few things like that. So highly recommend that you check out the benefits section of our website and make sure that you use that. Often you have to, it's complementary to the GSA plan, and so you want to use both when possible so that you get coverage for the things that you need. Yeah, so we are here to help you. We are here to advocate for you and make sure that you're comfortable in the workplace. We have Article 4 protects you from harassment, discrimination, and so if you experience anything in the workplace that makes you uncomfortable, please let us know and check out Article 4 and make sure that that's always being followed. You have the right to feel safe in the workplace, not be harassed based on gender, ethnicity, ability, and all sorts of things, obviously as required by law, but also we recently, in our new collective agreement, finally got the employer to recognize that gender identity is also an axis along which people experience discrimination and harassment. It should not be happening, and that people's stated pronouns will be respected in the workplace. So if you need to tell your supervisor your pronouns, they are required to respect those, and if they're not, please let us know and we'll fix that. So yeah, if you need anything, just let us know. You can email us at info@cupe4600.ca. You can contact me. You should follow us on social media, and if you're interested in getting involved, we have lots of events coming up. And you can also email us as well to say, hey, I want to help more, I want to get involved, I want to volunteer. We have various committees and all sorts of things. So the union is great. It's a nice service and it's a nice way to meet people. So I hope that you like working at Carleton and like being a part of our union. Thanks.